Hi Flosstube, this is Sound Mind Stitching and I'm Chelsea. I apologize in advance for my voice. The timing is never great for filming, but here I am. This is a channel about cross stitch, embroidery, sewing. I'm a very new sewer, mental health, books, all of my favorite things. This is episode 14 and it is September 7th, 2022. I have a lot to share, and as I was kind of writing down all of my notes about what I had from stitching, from haul, some future plans, and then a couple people have asked me recently about books. It's just too much for one video. Not only would it be really, really long, but it's just a lot to edit and my time is very limited. So today, episode 14 is going to be finishes, starts, whips, and I'm going to redraw a giveaway winner for the Prairie Schooler Santa because I haven't ever heard back from the person whose name I drew in my last video. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. And then in my second, in video 15, which I hope I can film in the next week, I will talk about my haul, about some help I need looking for some new designs that I want to stitch. And also I'm going to cover one of my plans for 2023, which is to stitch all 12 of the Year in the Woods patterns by Cottage Garden Samplings. And that is a big part of my haul, is a lot of the thread that I've gotten. So I have a really cool spreadsheet, or I think it's cool. And I got some amazing help picking fabric. It's a lot to share. And if you don't really care about it, then you don't have to watch that one. I'm also gonna share, I think it's 10 to 12 books I've read since the last time I talked about books. I've read more than that, but these are the ones that I would recommend. I'll share books. So this episode is starts, finishes, whips, giveaway. The next one will be other miscellaneous stitching related things, haul, and Year in the Woods. But don't worry, I still have plenty to share in this one, which is why I'm gonna split it up. First, a quick life update. It's so funny because my last video, episode 13, I posted on a Friday. That's when I uploaded it as I was about to leave town for my sister's wedding shower. That was on August 20th, I believe, or 19th, I think. And the very next day after the shower, I was still out of town. I started feeling bad. And you probably can guess where this is going. By the time I got home, I was really going downhill. I did take a COVID test that day and it was negative, but the following day, which was a Monday, I continued to feel awful and took another test and it was positive. And one of our kids also tested positive and another one never tested positive, but we assumed that she had it. So that whole week basically got sucked down the drain. The only upside was I got a lot of stitching in because I literally had no energy to get out of bed. We also have traveled since then. We went out of town for Labor Day for a little reunion with some really old friends of ours. It was super great, but 2 of our kids started coughing on the trip. And as far as I know, it's not COVID, but our 2-year-old is, I think, getting over it now, but our 5-year-old is still really coughing badly, and I'm gonna take her to the doctor tomorrow. I tested her. I don't know that it's COVID. Again, I think she had it a couple of weeks ago, but I've got some PTSD because last fall, the very beginning of October, I left town for a baby shower, and Zoe, our 5-year-old, started coughing the first night I was gone. By the time I got back, it was like a full-blown respiratory thing, and she, as far as we know, it wasn't COVID, but she was sick on and off for about 6 weeks, and it ultimately ended up with pneumonia. We went to the children's hospital several times. We saw our pediatrician. It was awful. She was really, really sick. And I'd hoped maybe we could avoid that. I hoped maybe it was because it was her first year of full-day school. But here we are again. And I don't know that it'll be that bad, but I have a lot of trauma related to her coughing because it was so awful last fall. So I also, as you can tell, I don't know if it's just allergies or if if they have just some other random virus and I caught it too because my immune system was still shot from having COVID, I don't know. But anyway, I'm here because of COVID. Ironically, I got so much stitching done that I knew I want to share it because it's too much if I don't go ahead and share. So I have 2 finishes, 3 starts, 1 is a restart, and 4 whips plus 1 abandoned whip, 1 whip that I'm abandoning. So we'll start with finishes. So if you've been here before, you know that I am making hands-on design coastal holiday. It's 4 things. All right, we'll have to figure out the glare. It's not too bad actually. For my mom for Christmas. She always decorates her house for Christmas with kind of a beach coastal theme. So when I saw this, I just knew it was perfect. So I had already finished these 2 ornaments, and I'll show you those if you're new. But I also managed to finish this early in, well, I guess it was COVID. It might have been the first thing I finished when I got sick. So here's the first 2 ornaments that you may have already seen that I've shown. This is Joy, and this is Peace. And then I finished the piece that's on a box, which I don't know if I'm gonna do a box, but here it is, Greetings from the Sea. Now, if you look closely, there are a number of mistakes here, some spacing. I messed up a little bit on the shading of the lettering. I messed up a little bit on underlining. One of the blue kind of teal underlines is off. I did not do the beads that it called for. I just did red X's with DMC. This is, well, great. Hold on, I'm gonna hold this up while my computer screen closed up. Now my computer's like fully gone to sleep, which is super helpful. All right, while I wait for it to turn back on, I think I can remember. This is 32 count lamb's wool Jobelin. And it's a really interesting, the feel of it is very interesting. It's pretty, it's not soft. It's almost like plasticky is the best way I can describe it, which doesn't maybe sound appealing, but I actually really liked it. I was able to stitch in hand, and that's why I did a little bit press it, but I basically rolled it up. And because it's so stiff, it really did get some wrinkles, so I'll have to work on that. But this was pretty fun. The back stitching was not my favorite. Outlining all the houses, I did not enjoy it. And I don't usually dislike back stitching, but it was a lot. I love the little crabs, the pelican or seagulls. But yeah, I stitched this 2/1. The pattern calls for color and cotton, and I bought this early this year and didn't even know where to find that. It wasn't easily available then, so it does have a DMC conversion in the chart once you buy it, and I think Fat Quarter Shop lists the conversion on their website for the listing. But some of the DMC was not great. When I pulled them all out and got ready to stitch, I ended up substituting out ones that looked to me more like the model, because some of them just were not great conversions. So that is that. So it's not a full finish, I guess. It's a partial finish. I've still got 1 more in the set, but we are going to be traveling 2 more times this month. My husband and I, this last trip was our whole family, but next week my husband and I will leave for 3.5 days for my youngest sister's wedding. And it's a long drive, and my husband drives, so I can stitch in the car. And then at the end of September, he and I are traveling to a conference in Pennsylvania. It's for his job. He's a pastor. It's a counseling conference, but our church was gracious enough to offer for me to go with him. So we are flying to Hershey, Pennsylvania in a few weeks. And we'll be gone like Wednesday. Our flight leaves on a Wednesday around lunchtime, and we won't be back until midnight on Sunday. So I anticipate a lot of good stitching time on the plane, in the airport. We've got some layovers. in the evenings when we're just chilling out. So it took me about 3 days to do the ornaments, and that was just like in my normal life, not when I had a lot of time. So I think I can finish the last ornament on one of those trips. So that's going to be kind of my travel piece, I think, because I think I can finish it. So I'm not even really thinking about that right now. Along those lines, I have put away a lot of kitted projects that I hadn't started, because I just felt, I'm realizing that when something is kitted for me, it's like calling my name, and it's hard for me to concentrate. So I just unkitted a lot of stuff. I just put the patterns away, put the thread back on bobbins or wherever it went, and put the patterns in a binder for another day. And I feel a lot more freedom in my stitching now. I don't know that that's true for everyone, but it's something I've realized about myself. So that was finish number 1. So this is Two Pumpkins Bright by Hello from Liz Mathews. This is my first Liz Mathews pattern that I've stitched, but I love her stuff. Here it is. Two Pumpkins Bright by Hello from Liz Mathews. This is stitched on 25 count antique white Lugana, 2/2. It is stitched using mostly the called for DMC. I substituted a few colors that I didn't have the exact ones. The model fabric looked white, but the called for was more of a creamy beige color, but I liked how it looked on the white. So I had this fabric already in my stash. It was a little big. I've never stitched on 25 count, at least not over 2. So this was kind of interesting. I think I liked it. I don't think I would stitch a lot of things because the stitches were really large, but I think it works. I think just because of the seasons of life that we've been in, I haven't always done a lot of decorating, but stitching I think has kind of inspired me to decorate my house for the seasons. And I thought that, this would be like 5x7 when I finish it, either like a flat fold or in a frame, and it would just be a nice piece to have out on a bookshelf or downstairs in one of our shelves or on the table or something. I think it could be really cool. And how much do you love these spiders? Like, look at that spider web. I just love it. And then the ones hanging down. Some starts. So my first restart, I'm calling it, is this Star Wars pattern. So you may remember I showed you, I'm gonna pop a picture up of it. But I bought this a couple weeks ago, got it all kitted up and started it on 20 count charcoal Aida. And I was stitching it 2/1 full stitch. But it started, I did not love how it looked. It was too puffy. It was pulling the fabric on the back. I couldn't really figure out how to I knew what parking was, but it's so many colors. It's like 80 colors. And so someone whose Flosstube I watch is Alicia at Adventures of Stitching, and she does a lot of full coverage. And I'm very new to full coverage like this. So she and I were talking on Instagram because I had watched one of her videos, and she gave me so much advice and help, pointing me in some direction to get some ideas. And ultimately I decided to pull out all the stitches, which was an absolute nightmare, and start over using tent stitches. So just a half stitch, still 2 threads over 1, but only a half stitch. And parking my thread. This looks like a mess, so forgive me. I also downloaded Pattern Keeper on my daughter's Kindle, and that has been a game changer. I was using a printout of the pattern, and it was a nightmare. So here's the restart. Alicia and I were talking actually just today. She asked me how it was going, and so this is the stitching. I know it's kind of hard to see. But if some of the colors are continuing this way and some are kind of continuing up, so I'm basically working in like 2 to 3 10x10 squares at a time, and then parking the threads kind of beyond that workspace if I can see that there's one coming. If there weren't any colors, if that color didn't continue in the next few squares, I ended the thread and put it back on the floss drop. So this is essentially like sand, and then this is the beginning of R2D2. And then I think this is his other leg. I think these are like his 2 legs, and this is some sand. So this is going to take me 40,000 years to finish, but I really like it, and it kind of is like a challenge to me. I can't do it when I'm watching something. I have to kind of do it when I'm alone. There's no interruption, it's quiet, I can use my daughter's Kindle. But so far I've really enjoyed working on it. So I'm really thankful to Alicia for talking me through the process and encouraging me. If you don't watch her, you should. I just really enjoy her a lot. So yeah, that's my first kind of start / restart. Okay, so this is a true start. I actually started this, I think, the day after I finished that pumpkin one by Liz Mathews. So my friend Sarah showed me this pattern, and it's a frosted pumpkin stitchery pattern. And I decided pretty much as soon as I got COVID that I was ready for Halloween. I'm ready. It's fall, it's still like 100 degrees here, but I'm ready for Halloween. So I had actually kitted this one up, taken it, unkitted it, and then re-kitted it again. But this is Mysterious Halloween Town. I'm trying to find my little board, by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I'm gonna show you the whole thing. So I am more than halfway done. This side over here is all done. You can kind of see where the Q-snap was. It didn't, see if I can hold it better. There we go. It didn't, you can kind of see some of the folds here from the Q-snap, but this is about halfway. And I did change down here. It said Halloween Town. So I extended this pink rectangle like 3 or 4 stitches, so a couple stitches each way, and recharted it to say Happy Halloween, which I was really pleased with how it came out. I did have to change this little thing. I kind of tried to make it looked more like the edges of a star, but I kind of made it look like a wrought iron thing, and I haven't done it over here because before I did this, all of this, and then I stitched all the way across here on the bottom to the edge of the chart, because I didn't make the chart any longer. This is still where the chart ended, and I did all of this back this way to see how many squares I'd have between the pink and the basket. And the other side is essentially symmetrical, at least down here. So, but I want to make sure I counted right, so I'm trying to work my way across to the bottom over here, do all those little motifs, and then do this over on this side. But this is a really fun stitch. I am stitching this on 28 count lamb's wool Jobelin. So this is the same as, oh wait, no, never mind. It's not the same as anything else. It's Jobelin, but the other was 32 count. This is 28 count. I'm stitching it 2/2 with the called for floss. And I want to talk about the floss because I haven't used much overdyed. I have used it in Nutcracker Village, which I will show you my very small little start there on a new house. But the colors, as someone who would love one day to design my own cross stitch pattern for real, I just really appreciate the colors in this. They use 4 overdyed, and then the rest is just either DMC or Cosmo, but I'm using DMC. So I don't know, I'm gonna see how close up I can get this. The 4 colors that are overdyed are the pink, so you can kind of see that's Weeks Dye Works Bubblegum. The black, so not this is 3021, but like the skeleton, the bat, the edges of the house and the windows is Weeks Dye Works Carriage. Wait, I think it's Weeks Dye Works. Let me make sure. No, I'm sorry. It's Gentle Arts Carriage Black. So like Frankenstein's hair, the crow, the bat, all of that is Carriage Black. It's like a blackish gray variegation. And then the purple is Weeks Dye Works. I'm gonna get these all mixed up again. Oh, it's I'm getting them confused with Year in the Woods, which again I've spent a lot of time thinking about. Lavender Potpourri. So this over here is the other house on the other side, and look at this, is all the purple, and look how much variegation there is. It's so fun. But my favorite is the green. So not Frankenstein's face, but the grass and the tops of the pumpkins is Weeks Dye Works Loden. And I don't know how well this is showing up, but it is such a cool variegation. It is like part of the green is like kind of my favorite color green, kind of that light foresty green, and part of it is almost like almost a yellowish green, but the variegation is just so cool. And I love how they mix it in with just regular DMC, because I think it really shows it off in the house. You know, you have this bluish color and this kind of magenta, but then this is variegated. I just think it looks so cool, and I'm really enjoying this, and I'm hoping to finish it in the next few weeks, this month for sure. I had thought, okay, I'll start this in August, I'll start another Halloween one in September, and then another one in October. But then I went ahead and started the September one before I finished this one, because I can do what I want, because it's my stuff. But that one is really, really fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. The other one I started was Celebrate Halloween by Madame Chantilly, which is one of the tiered trays. So I basically worked on this the whole time. This is what I worked on when we were out of town. I keep forgetting about my board. It's supposed to be a help, and I'm not using it. Okay, let's see. Well, there's the top of the tray. Let's see. There we go. So I've almost finished the tray. I just got to finish over here, and I've worked a little bit on the spider. This was the center. It's like a witch's broom, and I wanted to get the counting right. And then I did part of this pumpkin. But this is my first Madame Chantilly pattern, and I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to finish the tray so that I can work on the motifs. Please excuse the sound of my child yelling outside my door. I'm hoping to, maybe I can finish this one this month too. I think I'm too ambitious, but this is 32 count platinum Lugana, and I am stitching it 2/2 with it calls for DMC, and I'm using all DMC. There were a few colors I didn't have, but because there's not that many different colors, I was able to, I think like the purple, the orange, and the yellow, I didn't have any of the called for, but I was able to find something similar, and since it wasn't that many different colors, it was easy to substitute. So before I do my whips though, I'm gonna draw, I just drew another name for the giveaway. Prairie Schooler 2006 Santa, which was given to me by a viewer, but I'm just not a Santa person, so I was gonna give this away. I had some people enter, and the last person didn't respond, so I have drawn another name, and it is Lisa Munchausen. So Lisa, if you will email me, my email's in the description box, then I will mail this to you. So congratulations. I hope you can contact me. Usually I would say if I haven't heard from you by my next video, but the next one isn't going to count because it will be so soon. So if I haven't heard from you by number 16, then I'll draw someone else. But Lisa, I hope you're watching, and I'd love to send this to you. So I then want to show you all of my whips, which are not many because I'm actually abandoning some. So the abandoned whip is Northern Land by Al Forest Embroidery. I am not abandoning this pattern. This was my birthday start, and I've restarted it like 4 times. The most recent time was with, oh, I found it. I knew it was here somewhere. Was with 4030 DMC Monet's Garden. This is what the variegation looked like. Don't freak out at the fabric. Everything's fine. This isn't why I restarted it. This is as far as I got. You know what? It's upside down. That's how it goes. It's beautiful. This is 32 count antique white Lugana, but I think the variegation was super cool. It doesn't match the colors of my house, and I just am tired of restarting it. So honestly, the original pattern, I'll pop a picture up. It is reddish blue and then darker blue and light blue. And I didn't choose that because I don't love red. But the more I look at the original pattern, the more I think I should just do it in the called for colors. Stop trying to change it, because I actually think it might go. We have a rug downstairs that has some blues and reds, and so I actually think it could go downstairs in our house. But I'm not going to think about it right now. I have enough to do, and I might just wait till my birthday next year and do a birthday restart. Get some different fabric, get some different floss, and go from there. So that is going away for now, but not forever, because I still love the pattern so much. Another WIP is the football piece I'm doing for my son Steven. Something that Alicia talked about in her Flosstube, and then I think for her it's like the daily 30, where you just do 30 minutes on the same thing to kind of make progress. Another Flosstuber, Sarah, calls it something similar, the daily thread, where she just does one thread in the same project like for a month. So I'm kind of considering this football my daily 30 daily thread. This is a pattern I came up with. My son is a big Tennessee fan, and let's see, I've already messed up the white seams. It's not quite symmetrical. It's hard to see it at this point, but I know it's not right, but I'm not gonna pull it out because it would require also pulling out like all of this brown. And I'm real tired of DMC 300 at this point. So basically I've outlined it over here to these checkerboards. Some of these are just half stitches I haven't finished. And then, you know, the end of it will be the same as the end over here. But I've been taking this in the car when I drop my daughter off at school, and when I'm dropping my son off at preschool and picking him up. And honestly, it probably adds up to 30 minutes and I'm just in the car. And I think I have a little more orange and white, and then it's just gonna be all brown. So it's just really boring, and I don't wanna work on this for hours at a time, even if I'm watching TV. So I think I'll be able to finish this by Christmas for sure. If I just kind of keep plugging away at it for 30 minutes, 4 or 5 days a week, I think I can do it. Another WIP, and I honestly might have shown this in my last video. I have worked on it some, although not much, but I can't remember, so I'm going to show you. This is by Silver Creek Samplers. This is 14 count Ada also. It is a vintage blue from Hobby Lobby. It's kind of modeled. Silver Creek Samplers, Fred's Ewe-nifying question, but I'm calling it Mr. Rogers. I'll pop up the picture. This does have some weak dye works that are really pretty. I really like this one, but I think that I'm going to put it away until 2023. I have other things that I'm trying to finish for Christmas, and so I am going to set this aside to finish in the new year, and maybe I'm kind of thinking of each month choosing a focus piece, either to finish or just to work on. And so this could be a focus piece for one of the months next year, but I'm going to put it aside for now until then. Another one that I haven't done a lot on, but I'll show you, is Under the Sea, another frosted pumpkin stitchery. This is a stitch along, and all I've really done since last month is this thing on the side. The newest part came out the week I had COVID, but I was working away on that other stuff. So the newest part covers like there's like a whole border up here. So I am gonna do that, but I'm just kind of I'm not setting it aside till next year because there's gonna be another part this month, but I may take this again on our trips. I think each month the parts generally take me a couple of days to do, so I think I could finish this on one of our trips. So I may take this on one trip and then the Coastal Holiday on one. I'm forgetting to talk about the fabric. This is 32 count Nessie by Picture This Plus. It's kind of a blue. It looks grayish, but it's blue. I really like the way this feels. It's very soft. It calls for Cosmo and some overdyes, but I'm just doing all DMC, and I'm still really happy with it. And I have changed some of the colors. The mermaid was different colors, and this diver down here was different. Actually, this one was too. I've changed all the people, I guess, a little bit, but not really anything else. So that one. And my last WIP is Nutcracker Village. So I have not done a lot of work on this since last month. If you're not familiar, this is an 11-part series. The 10th part just came out. I think 11 is coming out this month, the last one. So I have done parts 1 through 5, which is the middle and the 4 houses at the top. There's 2 houses on either side of that middle part, and then 4 more at the bottom. So this is Mother Ginger's candy shop, I think. And all I've really done is the little garland at the top and parts of the house, like a little corner. So I'm torn on this one. I'm really excited about these Halloween charts and I'm enjoying them, so I haven't really been working on this. I have to basically do 2 a month to finish it by Christmas because there's 6 more and it's September now. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this by Christmas, but it's okay if I don't. I'd like to, but it's okay if I don't. My plans for the rest of the fall are to work on the Halloween charts. And then I have one more Liz Mathews Sleepy Hollow that I want to start October 1st. I have a free Thanksgiving piece that I'm going to start in November, and then I have a free Christmas piece I want to start in December. Other than that, I'm just going to keep working on what I have. So I'm hoping that maybe I can squeeze all those Nutcracker Village ones in. The only other thing I want to show you today in this video is I have been working on another project bag, and I'm using a tutorial by Bumble Stitches to make a project bag panel. So this is using quilting techniques. Well, it's not really quilted. Quilted, I guess, you know, you would go across the front, but I sewed them all together. It's a patchwork, I guess is what I should say. It's not really a quilt, but it's a patchwork project bag panel. And this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, and I'm really happy with it. It is not perfect. Look how some of these squares are not the same size. But I want to turn this into a project bag, so hopefully by my next video I'll have a project bag to show you. But anyway, my voice is leaving me, so I need to finish this video. Thank you for watching this today. I always love to hear from you, whether it's thoughts on what I'm doing, what I could do differently. We can all commiserate about COVID. I know a few other people that I follow have had it run through their house recently. I hope you're staying healthy, and if you're not staying healthy, I hope you're able to rest. I hope you have people in your life who are caring for you. Enjoy your stitching. Don't be afraid to put it away or cut it up. I forgot to say, the reason I cut this is because I had a lot of fabric because I started in the middle. So I cut this part out so I could show you, and then I sold the other 2 on Facebook, which I'm going to talk about next time too, about selling things on Facebook. So I'm going to throw this away now, but I just kept it to show you because it was kind of sad. But anyway, don't be afraid to stop if you don't like it. Take this, burn this into your mind, as sad as this is. It's okay. Anyway, see you next time.